Hi everybody, it's Jordy from Jordy's Cards and thank you so much for joining me today. We are here celebrating Inky and Scrappy's 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by another Fab 5 hop and giveaway. Thank you for joining us today. I will be sharing more details about the hop later on, but let's take a look at the products that I'm using today. So I have the Ready Set Snow stamp and coordinating dies. I have the Snow Globe Scene stamps and coordinating dies. These are all, of course, Lawn Fawn. We have the Magic Iris die set, the Magic Iris add-on, and finally the Magic Iris Snowflake add-on. So I am creating a Magic Iris today, if you hadn't figured that out. I always have trouble with Magic Irises. I've actually only ever made one before, and it was a bit of a nightmare. I found it really difficult. I was determined to conquer it today. I think I did okay. I'm not going to say I don't think it's 100%, but I think it's pretty good. They're really hard. I don't know if anybody else has tried putting one together, but I found it quite difficult. Anyway, I'm starting out with a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock on which I am ink blending some blue inks. So I have Distress Oxide and Tumbled Glass was that very first colour that I used. I'm now going in with some Broken China, kind of like it's a bit more of a, I'm going to say a muted blue, but it's a very pretty one. I'm going to go back and forth between those two colours, and then I'm going to bring out my Uncharted Mariner, which I haven't used a great deal of, but it's a beautiful colour. It's kind of more of a turquoisey blue colour. And I'm going to finish off with some chipped sapphire right at the very top. So I wanted this kind of gradient, snowy looking sky for my backdrop. So while I'm going ahead and doing some more of this ink blending, let me tell you about our hop today. So Jamie from Inky and Scrappy has reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and to celebrate we decided to do another Fab 5 hop. If you haven't joined us for a Fab 5 hop, we call it Fab 5 because there are 5 of us here that join in together to create this hop. Myself, Inky and Scrappy, of course. We have World of Papercraft, we have Kate Crafts, and we have Jessica Squirrel. So 5 lovely ladies who all love Lawn Fawn, hence the reason our hops are always Lawn Fawn based. And we're coming together, as I say, to celebrate Jamie reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Fantastic effort. Congratulations, Jamie. If you would like to join in with this hop, all you need to do is go to each stop on the hop and leave a comment. If you don't know what to say, a simple hi will do, or comment on the cards, tell us what you liked about them. And you will be in the chance of winning a Sledding By stamp set. Now, this was the fantastic collaboration set between Lawn Fawn and Simon Says Stamp for last year's Stamptember. So if you missed out on getting it at that time, now is the perfect chance. You could be in the chance of winning that amazing stamp set. It's super cute with some gorgeous Lawn Fawn critters in their sleds, perfect for Christmas. Hence the reason we are doing a Christmas themed hop in July. So don't miss out on that fantastic opportunity. Make sure you go to each stop on the hop, leave a comment, and you will be in the chance of winning. You need to do that by July the 8th, 2023 at 11:59 CST. I think CST stands for Central Time. So yeah, make sure you do that. Go and leave a comment at each stop along the hop and be in the chance of winning that fantastic stamp set from last year's Stamptember collaboration between Lawn Fawn and Simon Says Stamp. It's a great little set. Right, while I've been chatting there, I did go ahead and sprinkle some white metallic watercolour paint all over my background pieces, and I've gone and cut them out with the dies, the Magic Iris dies. So I have 3 of those circle pieces, 3 of the kind of tab pieces, and then 3 of these sausage pieces, which I also ink blended in those same colours to make it all coordinate. And now I'm going to start putting it together. So I've got those slots that I use, that they call it the flux capacitor piece, don't they? That's what Lawn Fawn calls that piece that cuts those kind of slots into one of the circles. and I'm threading my sausage pieces into those, and then I'm going to pull out some glue dots to pop on to those. You can just see there's an X that's kind of etched in to each of those sausage pieces, and that's where you want to put your glue dots. Now, I admit I spent quite a bit of time watching the Lawn Fawn intro video into magic irises so I could figure out how to do this. It was informative, and as always, Lawn Fawn make it look so easy. I don't find this easy at all. I find it quite fiddly and tricky. It's very hard to keep the pieces in place and get everything lined up. But as I say, I was determined to do it today because I have only used this die once. I really wanted to try it out again and try and do a better job of the first time I did it. First time I did it, it just didn't quite marry up. So I was really determined to try and get it right. So I was trying to make sure that everything was lined up perfectly. And then I'm adding another of those circle pieces on top of this, which is going to attach down to those little glue dots that we've just put in place. As I say, it's quite fiddly. This is not one of the easier interactive cards to put together. In fact, I would say this is the most difficult interactive card to put together of all of Lawn Fawn's die sets. So, but I had a lot of fun making it today, and I was, as I say, determined to do it justice today and try and get it right. So next up, I flipped it over, and on the back there are some little kind of etched pieces to show you where to put the tape runner. So I'm putting the tape runner in 3 places along the back, and then I'm using these kind of tab pieces to lay on top of that tape, and then they're going to wrap around to the front and hold the front panel in place, which I will show you here in a second. So I'm kind of popping them all in place on the back, lining them up. There's only 3 places where these attach down, so you need to kind of be careful that you get the tape in the right spot. I'm going to turn it over, and then this is like the opening mechanism, the bit that kind of opens the iris up. So I'm using some tape runner, which then ran out. So I got some more. Thankfully, I had some more. And I'm going to pop this piece just to the right of one of those tab pieces and kind of at an angle, a bit of a V. It creates a bit of a V with that piece. And then once that is done, I can pull out my final circle here, lay that on top and try and get everything lined up nicely. Then I'm going to add some tape runner to my little tab pieces and fold those over and hold that final circle piece in place. And then that is kind of like my magic iris all completed. And as I say, I never seem to get it 100%. Lawn Fawn make it look so easy, honestly. I find it really difficult. But I tried to be quite accurate. I think I got it fairly good today. I was having a bit of trouble getting it to close all the way up, but a little bit of fiddling around and it did do that. It did close all the way up, and just the more you move it, like most of these interactive dies, the more you move it around, the easier it becomes. So next up was me popping the kind of inked panel that I'd created on top, which I've cut out with that add-on die. So this is the Magic Iris add-on, and I'm just going to add tape to those 3 tabs again. That's the only place you want tape, otherwise it's going to interfere with the mechanism. And you want to make sure that you line up your closure piece, the kind of tab that sticks out to open and close it, with the opening that you've created in that slot there. And then it's kind of, again, it feels a bit stiff. It's kind of tricky, but once you play around with it a bit, it works great. And then I had the extra little tab piece. I was trying to figure out how this went on, like which direction it went in. And I was like, no, that's not right. It's got to go with the arrow pointing down that way. So which way does it go? It took me a while to figure it out. And finally, I twiddled it around a bit and was like, oh, right, it's meant to line up with the edge of that die. It took me a while, but I got there in the end and figured out where it was going to go. And then I attached that down with some more of that tape runner. I didn't quite get it exact, but pretty close. And then I just kind of trimmed off the excess white tab piece that was kind of sticking out. So I kind of tried to make it all line up nicely. It's working, which is the main thing. It doesn't quite open all the way up. I'm not sure why. As I say, I always have difficulty with this die. I mean, I've only used it twice. I should give it a break, really. It's probably not that bad. But I never quite get it 100% accurate. But for me, it was good enough today, and I was like, okay, this is working. I'm happy with it. So it closes all the way up, which is the main thing, and it's opening most of the way. I can't get it quite to go all the way open, but pretty close. I then just have a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and this is where my kind of hidden image is going to be. So what I've done is I've added 2 layers of foam squares onto the back of that panel all around the mechanism, so not touching the mechanism, and I'm going to lay that onto my card base before I add that center piece, because I want to make sure that center piece is going to be in the right spot. So here's me playing around with it again, making sure it's working, which it is. And you can see it doesn't quite open all the way up, and I'm not sure why. And then I was like, well, how am I going to get my centerpiece in there? When I watch the Lawn Fawn videos, they kind of just slot it in there and it's great. But obviously it wasn't happening for me. So I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? So I had to peel off the very top part of that panel that I had stuck down. Thankfully, it came away without ripping anything too much, and then I could kind of slide it awkwardly in the back there. But before I did that, I decided to kind of finish off. I stamped out that little Santa and his sled from the Ready Set Snow set, and then I've got this little image which comes from the Snow Globe Scenes set, which I coloured and die cut out, and I'm going to attach that down with liquid glue. I'm trying to make sure that I've got it stuck down nicely so that there's no kind of bits sticking up which are going to get caught on my magic iris mechanism. But that's what's going to go on the inside of that panel, and I'm kind of, as I say, going to have to slide it underneath there. So I just put some liquid glue on the back of that, and I'm going to slide it in behind and get it centered up and in the right spot. And once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and press that panel back down again. And to be honest, it wasn't too difficult to do. It was just not quite as easy as it looked on the videos. But I managed it. It looks okay, and I think it's working pretty good. So I'm happy. So next up, I have that snowflake add-on, which I have cut from some pixie dust cardstock from Lawn Fawn, and I am attaching that down with some liquid glue to kind of go around that edge piece. I think it looks really pretty and just adds a little touch of something extra. The actual images that I'm using are fairly simple today. I haven't done a huge amount of like scene setting or anything like that, so I just thought the snowflake added a touch of bling and made it look quite pretty and nice. So I'm attaching that down, and then I have my other little images, which are the 2 little snowmen from the Ready Set Snow stamp set, along with the kind of the banner that's meant to go on the snow globe, which says Merry Christmas, and I've coloured that and cut it out, and my 2 little snowmen are going to look like they're holding that down at the bottom of my card, and then that will be it complete. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I persevered with this magic iris. Again, as I say, I haven't had much luck with it. I think it turned out pretty good today. Not perfect, but I suppose the more I use it, the better I'll get at it. But overall, fairly happy with how this one turned out. Please do go and check out all the other stops on our little hop today. All of these ladies are amazing crafters. We're all fairly small YouTube channels, so we're always appreciative of your support. If you are not a subscriber to any of our channels, please do think about subscribing. It really does mean the world to us to have you join us on our crafting adventure. And we're always appreciative of any comments that you might want to leave. It's always nice to get some feedback. Please make it positive, obviously. But thank you so much for joining me today. Please do take time to congratulate our wonderful Jamie from Inky and Scrappy on reaching 1,000 subscribers. We're so happy for her. Please leave a comment at each of the stops and join us on our hop for the chance to win that Sledding By stamp set. And thank you so much for joining me today. Take care, everybody. Bye.